welcome back to Moonhawk Studios Presents. I always get nervous because the theme song cuts in and out on Discord. The theme song is back, and there's a long story behind that, and we're not getting into that just yet. That's right. Welcome, everybody, to Moonhawk Studios Presents. I'm your host, Mac Paladin. With me in the studio, as always, is my good friend, Adam.
Hello.
We have a Kevin.
Yeah, we're here, baby.
Petty fan broadcasting from inside of a bucket that he has been repeatedly hitting his head against. Yeah. More on that later. And we have the Galax. Galax.
Yeah, sorry, I think I muted myself. I'm here.
All right. We have a great show for you tonight. We're jumping straight into the interview instead of introducing the news, so let's get to it. Tonight we have on the program Calvin of Win with Dice. Calvin, welcome to the program.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
All right. We're a little pressed for time, so we're going to make sure that we get as much info as possible. Well, let's start off with the obvious. Who are you and what do you do?
Well, I'm Calvin. I do a whole lot of stuff over on the Win with Dice channel. We have a weekly tabletop RPG gaming podcast. We talk about usually the games we run, the games we play, or any other tabletop-related topics that come up. We do occasional gaming streams over there. And for me personally, I show up in other streams as well, other Twitch streams doing actual plays of different games. And Ramon, who I do the podcast with, he's working on a couple of tabletop RPG games as well.
Right. Perfect. Concise and very clear. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Adam, do you want to start us off?
I suppose so. I guess it's worth asking, what games do you run?
Ooh, so my main thing that I've been running, at least in my home games, has been Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I've kind of been all over that basically since it was published, and Starfinder 2nd Edition, since that's been out for a few months. Lancer RPG as well is probably my second most run, or at least second favorite to run. I've been doing a bunch of that as a home game and getting to stream it occasionally, which has been really fun. And Mutants and Masterminds as well. I think I've been playing Mutants and Masterminds since like college when I first started playing tabletop RPGs. I started with 2nd Edition, and I've been over on a channel on the Untold Stories Project channel. I've been streaming Mutants and Masterminds over there with them for like 5 or 6 years now in different campaigns.
What edition is it on now?
So 4th edition is coming out next year. There's a playtest out. And they are currently working on, updating that playtest based on player feedback.
Gotcha.
I think that's meant to be out, pretty sure August next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish I could find someone to play Lancer with. I got the book because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I have not had anyone to play with yet.
Yeah, it is sometimes hard to get games together. I know, I'm pretty sure like on the Lancer Discord and stuff, there's people who will set up games, but I mean, I think scheduling is the hardest thing.
I don't do the playing RPGs with people you haven't met before thing much.
That's fair.
Or in fact, playing online much.
That, I totally get that. But I think scheduling is probably the hardest creature to fight in any tabletop situation.
Oh, absolutely. Have you tried mixing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Starfinder 2nd Edition at all?
I have. We actually we had a conversation about that a while ago on the podcast, because we were on our 222nd episode. So I thought it'd be fun to combine Starfinder 2nd Edition and Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So
the rules are supposed to be compatible, is why I ask for people who don't know that. They're about 90%, but there are some expectations that you need to adjust for certain things.
Yeah, and like the new GM book for Starfinder goes into a bit more detail on it.
Oh yeah,
but in general, like you can swap things back and forth pretty easily. The stat blocks are all largely the same. I mean, like
the biggest issues you'll get would be like or at least that I've found, are expectations of when flight is available to players,
Yes.
and certain like heavily equipment based classes like Gunslinger in Pathfinder and the Soldier in Starfinder don't necessarily work very well without their specific equipment. Before the GM guide even came out, I'd already I have a Pathfinder group that we switched to second edition. Must be almost a year ago now, but we had some people missing, so we were doing a short thing, and I said, well, while we're doing that, I'm gonna do a Solarian, because I can't think of any plot reasons why any reasons why it wouldn't work, as long as they can make the crystals that they need to use to enhance their weapons to enhance their solar powers to keep up.
Yeah, like I haven't done like an extended or like a campaign or anything like that. Most of it was really just a few skill checks and then going into like a specific combat scenario. Um, but what I found so far is that they're pretty compatible back and forth. I think it'd be interesting to see how a more extensive thing plays out, though.
Yeah, we'd previously mostly done a lot of homebrew stuff, but for the second edition, we started with Rusthenge into Seven Dooms at Sandpoint.
Mm.
And then for the side thing, we did the beginner box and are working on Troubles Under Otari and Abomination Vaults a little bit.
Oh, my experience with Pathfinder has been like 99% homebrew. Like playing with starting with playing with Ramon because he was like my first GM, and then playing with other people.
Mhm.
Like everybody wanted to make their own thing. I have not touched a whole lot of the Pathfinder like actual adventures. We actually honestly just started playing the Rise of the Rune Lords. We just started doing like a 2 week conversion of that because I was sitting on. Pardon?
Neat.
Oh yeah, it's been fun. I've been avoiding like reading that because I knew I was gonna be in a game of it. I was just waiting, so I didn't want to spoil anything for myself.
Well, and if you think about it, that's what we did a lot back in the day. If we didn't have the money for the expensive, orchestrated books, be it D&D, Pathfinder, whatever tabletop you did, you just kind of make up your own shit as long as it went along with the basic rules.
Yeah, second edition has pretty tight numbers, but because of that, it's actually supposed to be quite easy to make your own encounters.
Yeah, I've certainly found it easier than first edition.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, sorry, I think I made that too much about me.
Oh no.
I guess I should probably ask, like, I guess what's become my typical show, like when you're doing like live shows and stuff like that, how is death typically handled? There are some people where the dead character kind of basically joins chat or is kind of like a disembodied ghost. Sometimes they just tell them, go roll a character real quick.
So I haven't had a character death on a stream game. I've certainly had quite a few in home games. There have been times where I overtuned something or there were just some unlucky rolls. And usually that happens in sort of the larger combat I have planned for that session. So it's usually more towards the end. So we're able to just, have that person create a new character for next time and
Right.
find a way to introduce that character. I haven't had that happen on a stream though. So that's going to be, if it does come up, because I am planning to run a lot more stuff next year. If it does come up, hopefully the timing on it works out as well.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Okay.
All right. Well, I have a somewhat standard question for these kinds of interviews, and that is when you're doing live streams and stuff like that, are you in it just for the fun, or is this part of a business?
So none of the live streams, at least that I've been on, have been like there's no income from them so far, so it's not as much a business in that sense. Obviously you still want people to show up and have a good time and watch, and you want them to, want to stick around. So you do have to lean into that a bit. Really, I kind of find when I'm like, I feel like when I'm playing on a stream, I'm a bit less, like if I'm playing in person or if I'm playing just a home game, then I'll be a lot more flexible with certain things or a bit more loose with certain things. I'll be more willing to make it apparent when I'm kind of improving on the fly. I try to be a little more buttoned up when it comes to stream games. Obviously, that doesn't work out all the time because I don't think any plan, survives once it hits the table. Things are going to change. They're going to shift. There's different people. There's different brains. There's random chance going on. But yeah, I try to keep up a certain level of, I want to say presentation when I'm doing a stream game. That's largely the thing. But as far as seeing it in like a business sense, I mean, again, like you want people to stick around, you want them to have a good time, you want them to watch. Like there is the audience to consider when you're streaming a game. So they have to have something that they can something they can see or something interesting going on that makes them want to watch, that makes them want to stick around and, subscribe or follow or whatever it is on whatever platform they're on.
I guess the follow up to that would be like is something like Dimension 20 or Critical Role or something like that. Is that like an aspiration, or is that just something like those guys are neat?
I mean, they are very neat. I think the new Critical Role table, it like vibrates now or something. So
Woo, yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, it would be cool to have that sort of set and budget to do tabletop stuff with. You kind of have to work within like what you have and then try to do something interesting with that. So like I'll try to have some interesting visual stuff at the very least going on when I'm streaming a game. Usually try to have like a map or something so that people can see what's going on, like the players can see what's going on and it looks interesting for them, but also the audience can see. Because sometimes it can be frustrating as an audience member if you're watching a stream of a tabletop game or listening to a recording of a tabletop game and they're describing things on the map that they are seeing, but you obviously you can't, if you're in a situation where you can't see it and you're not getting enough description to know where things are, then that's going to throw off it's going to throw off what you're listening to, right? You're going to be not in the same space. So if I'm streaming something, I like to try to have a map for it. But again, things change, things happen. If I don't have a map for a combat, then you just roll with it as best you can.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of in the situation to where if fate struck and all of a sudden you went viral, then you'd probably have a realignment of the thought process. But for the most part, you're just trying to make it polished enough to be fun.
Yeah. Like I want the players to have fun because then that will spread to the audience and they'll enjoy watching people have fun. Like I think that's the main thing with streaming tabletop games.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, if I did have that polish, there would be a whole lot more that I could do. We did, honestly, like back in 2018, we did originally record, we had a Starfinder series in first edition that we were going to start. And we put out a few episodes of that and we were recording in person and everything. I think it would have been interesting to try to expand that to have something on camera. But I've gotten pretty comfortable over the last few years streaming, playing online with digital maps and tokens and things like that.
All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff for that nowadays.
Oh yeah, Tabletop Simulator is a godsend.
Not even Tabletop Simulator, but bespoke things like Foundry or... I'm sorry, I'm not trying to pick favorites or anything. That's just the one that comes to mind first.
Well, I have definitely gotten a lot of use out of Foundry. I think as far as because I play a lot of Pathfinder 2nd Edition and Lancer RPG, and those are kind of the main things on Foundry. I've definitely gotten a lot of use out of it.
Yeah, I was about to say, Mac, you scoff. Go on a tabletop RPG Reddit and go talk about Foundry, and you will have 80 other people call you a filthy casual.
I believe that the noise that I made was a nervous laugh.
Roll20 was the other one I was thinking of.
Sometimes I'm insecure about the things that to admit that. All right. Redirect time. So Adam, Gollix, Petty Fan, what's next?
All right. So how do you manage your time with the broadcast runs?
I mean, that is something I'm still working on. Honestly, with the channel, a lot of what we do there.
Welcome to
has-
our world.
yeah.
Knows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just hard to work stuff into regular life schedules sometimes. So at least on the Limit Dice channel, a lot of what I do there is I'll be the one editing the podcast. So that's what I put a lot of my time into. We've actually adjusted the schedule a bit just so I have like a bit of extra time to do that. As far as streaming games goes, I've mostly done that on the Untold Stories Project channel. I do want to do more stuff on our channel, but I've been hanging over there a lot, so I've gotten comfortable streaming there. And yeah, like I'll run the stream software, and that takes some prep, that takes some setup. Like, we have the art and everything. We have to line up everybody's like images. You have to line up the map and everything. Or if I'm running something, then again, I have to make sure that I have that all prepared before the game. I've only done like short one shots so far. Again, I do want to run more stuff in the future. That'll be coming up. Definitely. I think by next year I'll probably be running more regular campaigns. So I'll probably have a better sense of like how much time I have to spend on prep each week. But yeah, a lot of it right now is just like either podcast editing. Either Ramon or I will do the thumbnail for the episode. And then there's the gaming streams, which require, their own thumbnail, making sure the stream software works, making sure, nothing breaks right before you start streaming, which I'm sure y'all are familiar with. um,
See my 1,000-yard stare, but it's there.
yeah. Yeah, no, I totally, yeah. I think everybody who does streaming with any regularity has had one of those days where it's just like, why did this have to stop working right now? Like I gotta go in 1 minute and suddenly it's just something's not working.
The number of times I have had message from some streamer friends be like, "Oh God, it's broken."
How come Discord is stuck on update 18 of 18? Gosh, that seems awfully specific.
Easy
Yeah,
load level.
Oh no.
I think sometimes software just feels like being malicious on some days. It just knows the worst time to mess up.
It's like, hey Mac, make sure you show up on time because the guest is pressed for time. Oh yeah, right here. Stuck. Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Anyway, one thing I want to ask at this point is that you keep mentioning the podcast. What is the podcast? I assume it is a thing distinct from the tabletop runs.
Yeah. So the Win with Dice podcast we started back in I think 2020 was our first episode. And it really just started with it was pretty much the conversations that me and Ramon would usually have where we're just talking about games or ideas that we have or things we want to run or just going over the games that we played before. And then it sort of expanded from that where we would talk about like world building. Like a lot of some episodes that people like is us just going over a world building idea or like rolling a dice on some random thing and building from there. Some stuff is us getting into different books related to the games that we're into. So for Lancer, for example, we went over a bunch of the NPCs in those books and built things with those. Really, it's just a lot of different tabletop related topics and the games that we sort of center around playing a lot. We talked about the Kane RPG a while back, also published by Tom Bloom, and people were very excited about that. In addition, we also had the chance to talk to a bunch of different writers and creators on tabletop games. So the first time we talked to a bunch of different people who did third-party stuff for Lancer, we had like a month and a half of just talking to a bunch of different people, and we've kind of expanded from there, from the connections we made there. There's people who are publishing their own different games. There's like Soar, Dawn, Fathomless Gears, like a bunch of people we've talked to We also had Tom Bloom on the show a while back, and he is the one of the creators behind Lancer and the Kane RPG, as well as the webcomic Kill 6 Billion Demons, which Ramon was he's very into. So that was a fun episode.
I was slightly surprised when I learned that Lancer was by the Kill 6 Billion Demons guy. I have
Yeah.
never been able to actually fully catch up on that comic because it is very dense, but the art is amazing.
Oh yeah, it is just like incredible art. Tom's like a very hardworking guy, so it was fun to have him on. I'm glad he made time for that.
And do you run guests on the regular, or was that a special occasion?
So the first time it was more of a special occasion sort of thing, but it's become more of a regular thing, at least over the last few years, or at least the last year or so of the podcast. We've definitely had more people on just to talk about, their games that they're making or things that they're doing. We've had people from the community come on this show. We had a couple episodes talking about the Avatar RPG with someone that we met through having the YouTube channel. Um, so yeah, it's not like previously it was just a we happened to know a bunch of people, so actually I should say it wasn't that we knew a bunch of people. It was that we knew one of the writers who was doing third party stuff for Lancer, and he just hooked us up with a bunch of people. So he sent me their contact info. He had already made some messages to them. So I reached out to them, we scheduled some stuff, and we just scheduled it all back to back. But after that, we know a few more people now, so it's a little easier to sort of organize that sort of thing. And yeah, we just, occasionally we'll just have people on to talk about their games, and sometimes someone will reach out and just say that they want to hop on the show because they might know us from the Lancer community.
Hmm. Never underestimate the value of connections.
Absolutely.
Okay, with that in order, shifting back to the campaigns, what are you running currently in terms of the Win with Dice channel? Like, what's running there, if anything?
On the channel, nothing just yet. That is something we want to do for the future because a lot of what I'm running is on the USP channel.
Okay,
That I've run some Lancer there, and I'm planning to run some future stuff there that we haven't officially announced yet. So I didn't want to go into too much detail on it. But I am planning to run some Mutants and Masterminds over there as well. On Win with Dice, again, like we've been talking about games a lot, it's just a matter of that one's more a matter of scheduling things. That is again the schedule issue
right.
that we have to figure out on our end.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right. So moving from or moving away from uh pen and paper role playing games, it's mentioned on your channel's descriptor here that you cover all sorts of games: board games, card games, and video games. Is that a podcast thing? Is it that its own segments? How does that get channeled?
It's a bit of a podcast thing and it's a bit of a live stream thing. Like I've done streams of games like Baldur's Gate and Divinity Original Sin, did that a while back. Did some DC Universe Online recently, just a bunch of different stuff. And some of our early videos, I think our first video actually was on the Sentinels of the Multiverse game, because that's just a favorite of our particular friend group. That's something that we play on the tabletop a lot, like in person. So we did some videos just on the digital version of that. And honestly, during the podcast, we do we do sometimes ramble in the podcast, if I'm being honest. So we will cover other games that we're into or games that have inspired certain ideas that we want to bring into a traditional tabletop RPG setting.
Okay. Examples?
Um, so one thing I guess pulling from Sentinels of the Multiverse again, one thing that I really like about that game is that when you as a essentially the way that game works is you are a superhero. You function with a deck of cards. There's a villain who has their own deck of cards, and there's an environment that has a deck of cards, and you just basically play through that system. But when you, as the superhero, get knocked out, when your HP is down to 0 or however else you get knocked out, you're not necessarily out of the game. You just have like limited abilities that you can still do, but they will boost the other characters and help give them an edge. And that's something I really liked. Just that, when when you should be out of the game, you're not like just sitting there looking at your hands while other people play. Like you can still do something. That is something that I would want to see more of in tabletop games. Even related to the earlier questions that we were talking about, like that's not something that's around a whole lot. There's not a whole ton you can do when your character is down. You're just kind of waiting to be either picked up or just have your body moved out of the way. So that sort of mechanic, that's something that we've talked about how to bring that into a tabletop game.
Like, I'm trying to think of how to word this. I know. And what ideas have arisen in terms of transmuting that to the tabletop world?
So it's usually something like being able to provide some sort of bonus or resource for the other players, like some sort of reroll or additional thing on a check. Something that could be like tied or related to your character, but just some way that you are able to make a connection to the characters without being completely out of it or just being like out of the way.
Right. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. And do you regularly engage in any sort of card games
Um,
outside of like the previously mentioned one?
for me personally, not as much. Well, we don't really do a whole lot of like the TCG stuff, or
Mhm.
like, although there is I've heard there is a new Gundam trading card game that I wanted to try to get into, but um, yeah, I guess as far as card games go, that is something. I mean, that is something we could talk about more because that was something that I know Ramon was into back in the day. I'm not sure if he still is, but that would be an interesting conversation to bring up, maybe expand on the podcast a bit. But that is another thing that, like, again, like this podcast was mostly, it sort of started from just us expanding on our own conversations we would normally have, just turning that into a weekly thing. So, yeah, that could definitely be something that we could chat about as well, because I'm sure we've had like off air conversations about that.
Hmm. Right. So my colleagues here are much more versed into that Gundam card game than I am. So I'll see if they have any questions in that direction.
I mean, not really specifically. I haven't gotten a chance to play that one, but it did look interesting.
Yeah. We're much
Also, I'm
more.
currently playing the Digimon card game, and I don't know if I can afford two.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm looking at the
Uh,
prices for the Gundam stuff, and I'm like, I'd like to keep my other kidney, thanks.
I mean, that's kind of Gundam stuff in general.
Yeah, I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen the stuff for Gundam Scramble, which is like the tabletop, like Warhammer 40K style Gundam game, and that one's like, oh god, no, please.
Well, and they're cross-promoting those, too.
Yes.
Yeah, I very recently got into the Gunpla as well. I picked up some models and I'm getting some tools as well. I got to clear a space so I can start building them.
Oh, you sweet summer
Ask
child.
me about my backlog.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen people go down that rabbit hole. I was trying to avoid it, but temptation caught me. I was just too into it.
Send help.
Send help, bullshit, send clippers.
And maybe some painting tools.
That's the fun thing about Gundam. You don't need to paint if you don't want to.
Yeah, you can panel line a little, that helps, but everything is generally quite color accurate to start with.
I guess I'm thinking more of Warhammer.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
Warhammer.
the tabletop game they're doing, the models are still well made, but they're not as many enough pieces to be color separated.
Right.
But yeah, currently I have a few which for Mercury kits to do, a couple of Seed Freedom kits because I like the Zagok what has an X-wing for a backpack.
Someday I'll
And
finish
then-
my real grade God Gundam.
Yeah, and then I've been picking up the Super Robot Wars and some of the other ones that are not technically Gunpla because they're not for Gundam. Because I want them to make more of those. So far, I've bought the Hukabine Mark II and the Hukabine Mark III in hopes that they will finally make a freaking model of the Hukabine Mark I, which is my favorite. So that's how my the building has been going.
I picked up so I got really into Gundam 00 and I really like the Dynamez, but I wasn't sure like I could find a model of it because it seemed like it had, I don't know if I would be able to, like it didn't seem like one they would put out a whole bunch of. But I saw one at a convention.
It's a Gundam.
I mean, true.
It's one specifically. It's one of the ones from an anime that gets a significant amount of screen time. They always make high grades of pretty much everything. You're probably not going to get a master grade or a real grade Dynamis anytime in the future.
Oh, but that was that was the thing is like did see a master grade at a convention, and I couldn't resist, and that is how the floodgates have opened.
Ah, look, hubris! It has found you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. They were still making master grades often enough back then. They did them for all of the first season Gundams and
Yeah,
the
like,
Jinx.
I figured like they would have like the main character, like the one specific the Exia, but I wasn't sure they would have anything else really.
Well, yeah, and you'll notice. Well, you won't notice. I'm looking at Danlong, and I notice that for the second season for master grades, they only have a double O Razor and variants on that. They have fallen off a lot in the rate of making master grades lately. But they've been making more real grades, which are similar level of detail at a high grade size for people with less clumsy fingers than me usually.
Yeah.
I've still never made a Gundam real grade. I have bought a couple of real grades. One of them is one of those technically two of them is one of those non-super or non-Gundam models. I have the real grade Gao Gaigar and the real grade Goldie Mark, which transforms into an arm and hammer for Gao Gaigar. But Gao Gaigar is like 30-something meters tall, and most Gundams are like 18. So
Yeah.
the scale is it's not. I'm not as worried about teeny tiny pieces with that.
Meanwhile, I'm a psychopath with my real grade God Gundam, which for people keeping score is the
Gundams from G Gundam, like the God Gundam, are small even for Gundams. They are usually around 16 meters rather than between 18 and 20.
Not only that, but the inner workings of the original high grades are what they're modeling a lot of the real grade stuff off of, only more intricate. So that's fun. And by
sounds
fun,
like I have a lot to look forward to then.
yeah, there are a lot of small parts with specifically the mobile fighter real grades because they are very articulate because they're meant to do martial arts.
But I mean, still, I don't know. I want to clear out a space because I really want to get into this hobby. It's something that always looked cool from a distance.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited to. I mean, I got my favorite. I got the Dynamez, and I got a Death Scythe, a high grade Death Scythe.
Oh man.
So
Endless Waltz or the original?
I was gonna say Endless Waltz or.
No, just from the. I think it was from the first season. Yeah, just Death Scythe.
So it doesn't have foot spikes.
No foot spikes.
Okay. That's the biggest, because the Gundam Wing, every Gundam from Gundam Wing except for Epion has 2 versions because the OVA completely redesigned everything.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I recommend trying to stick with relatively recent-ish ones to start with, especially for real grades, if you go into that at all, because
Also, for the love of God,
Bandai's
don't pull all your
technology,
pieces off the runners first.
Bandai's technology is always improving, so the further you go back, the clunkier stuff is. That said, I started out with no grade seed kits, no grade 1/100 seed kits, and those were a good intro because they're simple. But those are probably going to be hard to find now because they're not very high quality.
Right.
Hmm. Okay, I actually did not know that, but I guess I'll consider that because there is some Witch from Mercury stuff that I was definitely looking at getting.
The
that
Witch from
I
Mercury kits have some amazing color separation and parts detailing. They had a couple of pre-printed parts. Unfortunately, they only put those in a few kits for the permit lines.
Hmm.
They still have sticker versions too if you prefer that, but the pre-printed permit stuff looks really nice.
Yeah. I have a Gundam Caliburn I need to finish, but unfortunately, I accidentally broke the action-based peg off in it, so I need to get a hand drill to fix that.
I feel like there's I just drilled through my own hand. Now I need to fix it. Joke in there somewhere.
That's later, and it's
Yeah.
more involving my
Yeah,
eye.
we'll be talking about misery in the state of Missouri later.
Anyway, if you want any advice on models and stuff, you can always ping me on Discord or something, and I can let you know what I know.
Yeah,
Hey, I have 2 I have to build.
We have a Gundam section in our Discord.
Yeah,
So
I need
that
to
can be-
get mine together and put pictures.
So, anyway, so what's coming up on your podcast in terms of games featured, guests profiled, etc., etc., etc.?
What are we doing next? So I think our next episode, because we have changed our schedule a bit, so our next episode should be out tomorrow. That one I talked about some Daggerheart on that because I got a chance to play it very recently. I think it has a pretty interesting dice system, so we've got that going on. Again, Ramon, he is working on a couple of games, so we're probably going to be previewing those and talking about those. In particular, Mechanized Body, which is like a card-based mech RPG. So we're probably going to be chatting about that a bit. There are people who we want to do some follow-up episodes with just to catch up with. Because, either their games are some sort of update that was published or going to physical release and things like that. And again, on my end, I do want to do more episodes or more videos on different actual plays of tabletop RPGs. So that could be something that'll either show up on Win with Dice or on other channels, depending on where I end up on the internet.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right. So I think I've run through my gamut of questions. I'll see if anyone else here has anything further.
I'm good.
I think
I'm
I'm
pretty
good.
sure I jumped in when I had something.
Garlic? Sorry. Petty?
Am I still here?
Yes.
You know what?
Jesus.
I'm good. I'm
Okay.
old.
All right. Standard question. Any appearances or upcoming things you'd like to promote?
Well, again, if people are into tabletop RPGs, if you're into Lancer or Pathfinder, Starfinder, Mutants and Masterminds, then please just check out the Win with Dice channel. We have the podcast on YouTube. as well as all the podcast platforms. I made sure to try to put it in as many places as I could find. I Our gaming streams haven't been as regular recently, but I do plan to bring those back within the next week because I do want to stream the game Dispatch. I'm very excited for that. That's going to come out in less than a week, so I'm probably going to be streaming a lot of that. Again, I want to shout out the Mechanized Body game. You can find that on itch.io. You can get a link to their Discord channel where they're doing play tests and updating the game rules and everything. As well as the Win with Dice website where we've got more information about the channel. One thing I've enjoyed doing is like campaign recaps and stuff like that. So if you want to filter down to like any specific campaign or game or topic or anything, it's easy to do that through the website because everything is just, it's tagged and filtered and everything like that.
All right. Well, I think that covers it. I always hate it when we run the gauntlet so quickly, but I know everybody was pressed for time, so I appreciate you indulging our scheduling change up there.
Oh no,
And,
no worries.
And it was great being able to talk to you. So what we'll do is this: if you have anything come up that you'd like to give a shout to or something like that, hit me or Adam up on our various social medias. We're on Blue Sky. We're on the old Bird app.
Yes.
Although some of us don't check it as much anymore, and that way we can have you back on in the future if there's something new cooking.
Yeah, I think I've shifted the main social activity from the channel on the channel to Blue Sky at this point. So that is where Win with Dice is most active. But yeah, thanks again for having me on. This was a good time, and I am going to check out that Gundam channel in the Discord right after we're done.
Right? You see? We're making friends already. I love it. All right, be sure to check out Win with Dice. You guys are on YouTube, right?
Yep, we're on YouTube, and the podcast is pretty much, I mean, it's on Spotify, Apple,
Cool.
like it's on as many places as I could find to get it on.
There you go. All right. All right. Good times. Now, since we didn't really explain the protocol here, you are free to stick around or depart at your leisure.
I'll hop off for now, but I am going to check out those Gundams.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so we're going to jump into our regular news segment, and again, special thanks to Calvin of Win with Dice for being here and letting us know all about their show.
All right, catch y'all later.
All right.
See you later, man.
All right. And as they say in the in the showbiz, we're back to one. Adam, give us the news.
Well,
I'll keep things brief on the end. Biggest news right now is I'm dealing with a medication row again over the same medication. They told me that it was renewed when I went to the doctor's last month, but apparently it wasn't. And trying to been coordinating things between the pharmacy and the doctor's office, and I've run out of these pills, and I'm gonna have to get that sorted tomorrow.
lovely.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it. And in the meantime, finally getting around to scheduling my vision appointment, but that keeps getting delayed because of this.
Oh
Like,
boy.
So, but that's small beans compared to what's been going on with others. So,
So, without further ado,
Hold on. Let me get my bit here because I have some things to say at least.
okay, Kevin, tell us all about it.
All right. Now, first of all, no, it's not going to be like the others in this room, so don't worry about that.
He's
Some
just
of these things are not like the others.
he's just getting out of the way before the bomb drops.
Right. I have two bits of information. First off, I got my COVID vaccine this yesterday, so
Woo!
finally opened up here in Georgia, thank God. So I finally knocked that out, and well,
Gotta-
there's something for the week for the year. And then
gotta get it in there before Brainworms Bobby bans it.
yeah. Well, we thought it was going to be banned this year, so who the hell knows?
Insurers and
I got
are
Medicaid.
saying no.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
they're sticking to the old schedules because they don't want the liability. Like,
right. Yep. That's it. So there's that.
Yep.
And then here at the house today, our entire flooring got switched up. So there's a lot of hammers and saws in the house sounds in the house today.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thankfully, I had headphones, so I didn't really hear much of it. And we have and all of our rooms are upstairs, so didn't need to worry about it. They did the work downstairs. We chilled up here. It's all good. But yeah, other than that and usual work stuff, that is it for me. Petty, what the hell's going on in your world?
Yeah, now for Scary Month with Petty Fan.
Oh, fuck. Where do I even begin? So I mentioned that my eye was irritating me a little bit last week because I pulled out the leaf blower. Well, this morning I woke up feeling like my eye was on fire.
Oh boy.
So my sister and I already had doctor's appointments in Kansas City. My sister had to get Botox in her arm and leg, and I had to see my sleep doctor, which that's some insurance bullshit.
Yep.
I used to be able to do telehealth for the sleep doctor because my CPAP machine has a cellular modem in it. So all of my usage data is sent to them. Now I have to take a 2-hour trip 2-hour round trip every 6 months-ish to wait in her office 5 minutes so that they will keep covering my CPAP supplies. You know the joke, this could have been an email? Literally that.
Oh boy.
So,
Oh boy.
while I was at her office, she looked at my eye and was basically like, you should probably see somebody about that. Like, if you don't have an immediate eye appointment, you should probably head down to the ER. So, I spent most of the afternoon in the ER.
Oh boy.
It was not a fun experience. It would have been better if the hour before they let me go, they would have just let me go an hour sooner. Because they gave me some numbing drops that helped a lot. By time I left, the drops were wearing off. So I'm already getting home. My eye is back to feeling like it's on fire again. And instead of giving me some more eye drops to help numb it again, they just gave me an ointment for my eye infection. I put that in, I guess, while the guys were doing fragments. It burned worse. There was a white hot flame. Like, I literally wanted to go grab some forks and rip my eye out of my socket.
Oh boy.
So, guess what I'm going to be having to live with until I see the eye doctor on Friday afternoon.
Oh boy.
So the moral of the story is, kids, if somebody pulls out a leaf blower, you better have goggles.
Full plate armor and welding goggles.
Oh dear.
As far as getting the house ready and stuff, I don't remember if I mentioned this. We talked to the new insurance agent, and they think it's weird that the insurance company is saying that they're not going to cover our roof anymore when they were the only ones who did work on it. Like, the only work that was done was from insurance when they replaced it back after the ice storm. So
yes, that is weird. We knew that was weird.
And
the fact that they think that's weird is new.
Yeah. Well, he's a fairly new agent. I think he's only been like an agent for like 2 or 3 years. So it's one of those. Hopefully, he can either push it through to where insurance will pay to replace the roof, which will save us 20 to 30 grand, or at least see about getting us some sort of extension so they don't immediately kill our policy, and we have time to get it to, put up a loan and get somebody up there to at least repair it to inspect, if not replace it. I wish I could have helped like my sister clean the house more this week, but unfortunately, because of I in searing pain, kind of hard to, do much of anything. I think that's it. Just a lot of pain and misery. So, next victim. Oh, God.
Alex?
So my parents got for our kitchen, we used to have under cupboard counter lighting that was just like one of those cheap LED light strips or something. And it wasn't good enough for them because they have bad eyes and Dad needs light while cooking and stuff. So they replaced it with these rechargeable non-plug-in, they plug in somewhere else on a thing and then they attach by magnets, like motion sensor light strip things. And they have not been able to get them to work like they can turn them on and off and stuff. Like at first they were like, oh, we wanted the motion sensor because that'll be easier for us, but then the motion sensor wasn't working or something, which was something that I said was probably going to be an issue, but no, I never get to know what the issue is until it's been several days later and everybody else comes to the point that I came to immediately. So yeah, we're dealing with that. It's very frustrating, especially because we had kind of an argument the other day about they've been turning them basically completely off when they go to bed, either by accident or on purpose. And I need the lights at night so I can see on my way to the bathroom, so I don't trip over something or kick a chair or something. And I'm still a little bit stewing over the fact that I got those aren't lights for at night, those are lights for during the day line. And I'm...
Damn.
I don't even know if they were fully thinking about it when they said it, but I hope so, because they have pulled back a little bit and they gave me the instructions. I'm going to try to figure out how to make these fucking things actually work properly, because they do need to like sometimes stay on all the time while Dad's cooking, but they do also need to either be on or at least be on motion sensor a little bit at night. Because like I understand having some things in the house that are for you to use and not for other people to use, but lights don't get to belong to that club ever. Unless it's like a tanning lamp, and then that's a safety issue for the wrong people using it, and we don't have any of those.
Let me get the tanning lamp in the bathtub here. We'll be all set.
Yeah.
No, that's for me later in the
that's
week.
been
Next to the toaster in the microwave.
yeah. So that's been a little bit frustrating for the last few days. Otherwise, at work, it's getting close to the end of the year, and I've received the notice that I need to use more of my ETO because I have too much of it. So I'm going to be working on that. And then I guess otherwise it's mostly video game news, in which I have been continuing to play Super Robot Wars Y. I'm getting near the end of chapter 2, I think. I'm progressing a bit slowly because there are quite a few early unlocks that you can get based on getting a certain number of kills on certain people, and I can't know that that's a goal and not try to do it.
Hmm.
So yeah, and also Pokemon Legends ZA comes out like tomorrow, so I'm taking tomorrow off anyway, so oh no, wait, I was thinking about doing that, but I ended up last minute pre-ordering it from GameStop because that way the stupid trench coat outfit that looks pretty nice actually. So yeah, I might not get it right away, but I'm looking forward to it when it does come out, even though from what I've seen from the leaks, the new Mega Pokemon have generally a lower success rate of looking like improvements or things that I'm a particularly big fan of than the original batch of Megas, which were already batting about 500 at best. Honestly, I personally think regional forms are a much more fun and usable new thing than Mega Evolutions, but I'm not in charge of the Pokemon Corporation.
What company?
Very different podcast if it was.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You're like, all right, peasants.
Oh, and this weekend is also the next Digimon set pre-release, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to that because I had some things going on Saturday. We obviously did not do Time Stranger last Friday on account of
Fucking
Penny's
blind.
eye. Yeah. And I don't know if we're going to be doing it this weekend, but I do also have another thing on Friday that I might have to.
Doing Time Stranger is
Ano-
probably going to be a game time decision depending on how things go at the eye doctor. If they give me the
Okay.
good shit,
Well, whether or not you do it, I probably won't be able to be there more than just being in chat.
it's fine. That helps with analytics anyway, so...
Okay. And I think that's about all I got.
Well, it was, we had rain and thunderstorms
Mm,
all throughout the weekend, so
mhm,
it took quite some time to recharge my charging stations.
mm.
I have an arrangement with my former employer to get a rental car while I'm for Ubering, and did the manager's special of the week and got a Tesla. So I've been doing that for a couple of weeks now. And no, it's not through any great love for Elon Musk. I think those of you who know me at all on this podcast know the truth,
He has
especially
a
if you
special
follow anything.
shrine to him somewhere in his house. That somewhere might be his toilet, but that's entirely unrelated.
Yeah. Look, I'm just saying that this past weekend, this past couple of weeks has put me in such a state that I almost got myself put on several FBI watch lists.
Oh boy.
Not that I'm counting on good old Cash Money Patel over there to actually competently surveil me, but better not to take chances.
Yeah, exactly. Lord knows.
So yeah, so the boss put me on the store's Amex card, and it has been nothing but a series of misadventures.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I got the car without too much incident. Everything started out kind of fine. I was still kind of nervous about it because I don't have a traditional bank account right now. Thanks to shall we say monetary policy disagreements with Jamie Dimon and Chase Bank. I no longer have an account. There's been an ongoing saga with my dad over a year ago attempting to invite me to USAA. I have a USAA member number. I can only do business with them over the phone because they did not set up my account properly. And so as a result, it will not send me emails or SMS text messages for account recovery purposes. So they now
10 out
have
of
my
10.
social security. They now have my email. and my telephone number on file, and none of that matters. And then when I asked him, I said, well, can you manually override this so I can, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do that. But you can do it over the phones like we've done since 1922. I'm like, perhaps I did not explain who you're talking to here. Although I was a retail associate and manager for many years, I despise talking to people on the phone. Call it a ADHD thing. Maybe I got a touch of the tism. I don't know. But the simple fact of the matter is that talking to people on the phone pisses me off. I can't contain the rage. So there was that. So no bank account through USAA and no insurance. Tried setting up with Tucson Federal Credit Union so I'd have a backup plan in place. And the problem is aside from my lease, which I need to find the fucking front page of my current lease, I don't have an actual bill that establishes residency here.
Oh,
in Pima County specifically.
Oh boy.
Because that's a qualifying, or in this case, disqualifying offense. Is if I'm in Pinal County, I got to go get a credit union up in Pinal County. Because that's where I officially live according to my driver's license. So that's on pause. I go to put in the my PayPal account into the American Express website, and I did it so many times I apparently broke their portal. So you can actually get a banking and routing number through Bancorp, through PayPal. So PayPal uses partner banks for FDIC insurance on your money because PayPal themselves are not a bank. But they do have a direct deposit and a direct debit system for ACH purposes through Bancorp, their partner bank. And so I give them after breaking the portal, and it's like, we're sorry, we're just going to give you an error code, and you can die mad about it if you don't like it. After getting it in there, I go to make a payment, and I find out the most asinine feature of this entire thing is that, so I do a test payment of $300 and it gets bounced back, and they say you have to turn on direct debit. So I go into the app. It is literally a fucking slider. It's just boop, touch it, and it goes to on.
Oh boy. Mm-hmm.
It's not on by default.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would make sense.
Yeah.
And we haven't even gotten into the politics of what's going on this week.
Oh God.
Yeah, we haven't even covered that. That's making me angry. But so this is that. So I went to pay my rent.
Right.
I was going to float it for a few days because I was a little behind on the earnings, in spite of the fact that we're in the middle of the fall semester, which is usually the busiest time of the year because football season.
Yeah.
Right? And I've been a little behind because between crashing my car last month and then trying to rebuild it and then doing, hoofing it with my almost 49-year-old broken ass up and down stairs carrying people's pizza and groceries. I've been a little out of it. Disrupted sleep cycle, all that stuff. So, here I am trying to sleep. I'm dealing with roach apocalypse. I have now moved to basically this apartment is lemony fresh. I found a organic insecticide that is lemongrass based, and I have to be very careful because if the cats track through it and start licking their paws, they can get very ill. Essential oils and cats do not mix. So lavender
Specifically
oil,
citrus.
lemongrass, all that crap. I'm just trying not to kill my babies. Yeah, it's just, so they decided that when I tried to do a pass-through payment of my rent to buy a few extra days, they decided that they were going to trigger fraud alert, and they instantly canceled the card because the owner of the business received the confirmation text while he's on a cruise, and instead of responding to it, he sent a frantic text message to my store manager best friend, who did not receive it for 3 hours, and called me while I was at a Tesla charging station at 3:00 in the morning. So they insta-canceled the card because he didn't respond within 3.5 seconds, yes or no. I had to wait for another card to come in, and as a result, I had to cancel and restart my rental. Because they can't just update a credit card at Hertz because, it's because of Uber. Yeah, okay, just keep jerking me off, dude. I'm just, and it's super expensive, and it's just, I'm just not happy. I'm not happy. And like I said, I was largely without power for 5 days. We didn't do the Final Fantasy 14 stream this week because of Petty's eye. We didn't do Blue Monday because Shadows Mist had oral surgery, and it was Canadian Thanksgiving, and she just wasn't feeling it. And I said, you know what? That's totally fine. Par for the course. And I hate to sound smart about it, but it's like I wasn't making any money off of the podcasting anyway. So who gives a shit if I miss an episode, I wanted to go out to work, but of course, I have been on the phone with support, and they keep glad handing me. They're oh yes, everything is perfectly fine. It's no problems, oh, Mr. Sir. And then literally the next day, I get an email saying everything that guy just said is bullshit. I feel like I'm in a perpetual feedback loop of that scene in from My Cousin Vinny. He's like, yeah, everything that guy just said is bullshit. Yeah, that last remark will be stricken from the record. The entire opening statement will be stricken from the record. Yeah, okay. So, arrest that horse ass for reckless driving, because that's all I got. I'm just trying to do things, and then of course, because it's an American Express card, I have to pay off my entire portion. I can't carry a balance. And then they reflected the payment back, so I don't know if they're going to try again for that $300, because when a payment fails, they notoriously take like 5 business days to try again. So I'm just distressed. I'm just very distressed right now.
Yeah.
And then we got to deal with this whole clown show of an administration. And the party of pedo protectors carting out literally their smallest member and putting her on a soapbox, literally.
See, the problem with you calling it a clown show, Mac, is it has to be funny first.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Almost a third of the population fears clowns.
True enough. It's a thing for a reason.
Sometimes clowns are just not funny. Sometimes they're just sad.
Mm.
And I feel like that's a perfect metaphor for where we are right now as a nation. It's no longer funny; it's just sad.
Yeah.
I would disagree, but that would be a different show.
Eh.
No, things are getting very funny and absurd, and that's sending the administration into a tailspin.
I don't know.
I
I
don't.
don't know.
They don't really know what to do with the animal mascots. Like,
Okay, that is funny.
Yeah,
I will give you that one.
yeah,
We
Hopefully they
called
don't
their
figure
bluff
it
hard on that one. They were
Yeah,
expecting
I just-
violence and fires, instead they got fucking furries.
I mean, we know from prior experience during the 45 era that this president has no qualms about violating the Geneva Conventions on our own citizenry,
Mhm.
firing
Anyway.
tear gas into crowds. So
okay, but before this descends into the last news desk on the left,
yeah,
we
before
should
this descends into
probably-
madness further. So I mean, it's just one thing after another, and I still owe money on my taxes, and it's just I don't know. If I sound bummed, you don't know the half of it, brother. But still working on things, and I spent some time cleaning up the house. I fixed the little bookcase that was missing a leg. I bought these cute little metal mesh baskets that are actually pretty sturdy to put underneath the bookcase, and then I had to spray the whole goddamn house with lemongrass oil so that way I could eliminate the roach problem that just seems to be escalating for some god-awful reason. So,
Huh.
I don't know. It's not like I keep food around here anymore. I don't even have refrigeration yet. I'm still working on that. So I don't cook anything. I don't eat anything in the house. All I have is a couple of bags of cat food. I don't even have treats for the cats. I have literally just enough to keep them alive with food and water, and that's where all of them are congregating. They just, I put it in the center of the living room, and it's like, why is the floor shimmering? Uh-oh. Somebody bopped that.
I don't think so. Everybody's up on my end.
No, there's a thing in the chat. Thank you.
Oh.
So yeah. So without further ado, I think we got a video.
we do indeed. Right.
Working on it.
This will brighten everybody's mood.
Yeah. Well.
Well,
Yeah, I
okay. So the video that was selected this week kind of went through its own changeovers due to YouTube acting up today. Like, not sure if that's calmed down or not, but instead we are taking from the archive.org, which is working perfectly fine. Anyway, Mac, you say you bringing things to light, but that couldn't be further from the truth, because we're going to be looking at the pilot episode of Tales from the Dark Side.
I see what you did there.
Indeed. But for those who aren't familiar with this, and understandable if you're not, as the series is quite old by this point, it was a syndicated horror anthology series created by no less than the originator of the modern day zombie, George A. Romero. Like, it's also kind of the precursor to, say, the likes of Tales from the Crypt and Are You Afraid of the Dark? All of the horror of the 90s. Probably could be traced to this thing here.
Oh my God, directed by Frank De Palma.
Don't mind me.
There's actually a lot of names attached to this. And it's also probably most renowned for its theme song. So
where is the Discord share?
Working on it.
Okay.
Okay, we're still not set up.
I will be in a third of a second.
All right. But yeah,
Time's up.
the pilot episode Trick or Treat hails to us from October of 1983.
Mm.
It went to full
Ah.
series in 1984. So
The birth
There we
year of
go.
my arch
There he
nemesis.
is.
All right. Everyone file in.
Mhm. I am in.
Don't open up Streamlabs, Petty. That'd be bad. Especially now.
Oh, I was gonna say one other minor. Well, it's not minor. This is actually kind of major. Varias and I are speaking again,
Ah, yes.
so that's
Right.
why we have a theme song.
Yeah.
We talked over some things and aired our grievances, and
things are rebuilding.
yeah,
Nature is healing.
I've gotten out of the mode of just sitting around and talking to anyone on Discord or any other platform for hours on end because I'm just out here working so much. So it's a little different than it used to be.
All right.
All right.
You know.
I
All
do
right,
believe
so
I am
are
ready.
we all queued up here?
All
Yep.
right,
All right, let's get into it.
let's do it. Really.
From the
Hey,
Dark Side Tales Wiki, A New Man is considered by many to be the most confusing episode from Tales of the Dark Side.
No shit, Sherlock.
I don't think this is the pilot, but it worked well enough for our purposes.
I watched the whole thing and I still have no idea what the
It's
fuck
the
happened.
first episode, not the pilot.
That's what it is. Like, no, I got what was going on. Like,
You did?
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I get it. Kid's evil, but
the kid's
kid's
evil,
evil.
and he's clearly some predator of humans, and that was his next quarry.
and he has a type that he goes for, which
Yeah.
is recently recovered alcoholics
Yep.
or
And
in recovery alcoholics.
And I guess he's aligned with that spot there, I guess.
Sure, why
Is that-
not?
They obviously that there's obviously a situation there because the kid goes to that place twice and gets two different people.
Well, he's demonic powers. He clearly has the
Yeah.
ability to manipulate minds.
Obfuscation powers.
And he
Yeah.
goes specifically to that joint twice. So obviously there's a reason why, I would think.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, it's like Dexter taught us. They have a killing field.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It's like serial whatevers have a pattern.
Anyway, you know what we have time for this week?
Another one.
Yeah.
News.
Oh boy.
I know,
boy.
right?
It's been a while since we've been able to get to this, but and this week we are leading off with I suppose it is officially official in terms of calling Tron Ares a disappointment to a bomb.
It's Bob. It's Bob. And kiss the Tron franchise, whatever it was, goodbye. It's done.
Well,
Uh,
I mean,
No, okay, Disney keeps trying to make it a thing every
Right.
15 to 20 years, so
Yeah.
be sure to tune in when we're all in our 70s when Disney tries again.
could they just stop casting Jared Leto and things?
The answer is no, because you want to know why Jared Leto keeps getting cast into things? It's not a secret.
Blackmail?
He's one of the producers. He's
Yeah.
one of the people putting money into this.
Well, he's partially putting money into it.
It's enough to the point where he was the spearhead that got Tron Ares off the ground. And that's kind of reflected in the putrefaction of Tron here.
Putrefaction. Such a great term.
Well, Poochie is one of the great metaphors from The Simpsons. Like,
Mhm.
and dear God, does it hold here?
Mhm.
Like, all that was missing was access to a time machine. Like,
Uh,
the point, the point is the trades are finally asking the question that should have been asked quite a while ago. Is this it for Jared Leto, leading man?
God, I
And
hope so. I hear he's a
guess I-
smelly.
well, we're gonna try it one more time with him being Skeletor.
Now, in fairness, that's not the lead, but
it's the lead antagonist. So
Yeah.
yeah.
and God help us if he tries to go method with Skeletor.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
He tried going method with Joker, so bet money on it.
Hold on while I dredge up that bit with Ian McKellen where he's like, so I was asked to play a wizard, and I had to imagine what it was like to be a wizard, and then I became a wizard. Have you guys seen that bit?
People were
think
sick
I
of Jared Leto's fucking method acting shtick the first time they heard of it, which is probably when he was playing the Joker.
honestly, I was sick of Jared Leto when I saw him in Requiem with of a Dream.
I never saw that, so
I just look.
The only good thing
I-
he was ever in was American Psycho. That's it.
I mean,
I'm just
Requiem
friends.
for a
I'm just
Dream
friends with a lot of actor people who have been in his circle before he was famous. And
he's been acting since a teenager. He's also got a lot of money from his music career. Yeah.
30 seconds to Mars, just for the
look,
record.
I'm just saying that the Mutual Admiration Society asterisk does not think very favorably of him because he's kind of a monster.
Kind of a yeah. I'm like,
well,
in a few different ways too.
To paraphrase a bunch of posts I've seen about him, Jared Leto may have misconduct allegations, but at least he also makes movies that flop and isn't a very good actor.
well, he's got friends in the industry, and that's all that matters.
With friends like that, who needs enemas?
Yeah, you said that, not me.
Yep. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, Yeah, as long as he has high power friends in Hollywood, he'll always have a shot.
I just don't know how.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say is that he's stinky in more ways than one.
Yeah.
He's people hate him because he's a predator.
Yeah, he literally forced Disney to flip a freaking movie script, and it bombed.
Unbelievable.
Like, yeah, there was a completely different production of this Tron movie, and it was shelved for what Jared put up. Boom.
Anyway,
I could say more, but I won't.
there's a lot to be said about Jared Leto. Much of it could be actionable, like, but hopefully, the scuttlebutt is true. I remain skeptical.
Right.
Look, as long as he has power, as long as he convinces somebody that I can do it this time, trust me. I know the past flops and fast flops, but I can do it this time, trust me. Here's a shitload of money. Okay, take it. Okay. As long as he comes in with a shitload of money, it's amazing what happens.
It's amazing what doors that can do open. Anyway, moving on from less depressing topics.
Yes, please.
Yeah. The alleged release date for season 2 of Daredevil Born Again has been leaked. according to a Disney press site, is coming out March 4th, 2026.
Mm.
Yeah. Like, which I'm not sure if anything special about that date, other than, it's around the time of St. Patty's Day. And honestly, the St. Patty's Day episode of season 1 was the best by a wide margin,
Mm.
is my estimation. Like, I don't know. It's like not a lot to say at this point, because Disney hasn't really started hyping it up yet.
Mm.
But was I the only one who's seen Born Again?
I haven't. I don't watch any of the Marvel extended. I don't even watch most of the movies.
I haven't seen anything since Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm. Oh, right.
And I like that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's dusty in here.
Yeah. But the big thing for season 2 here is they're heralding the return of one Jessica Jones, which was the other really beloved
Franchise?
no, Defenders verse show. At least season
Hmm.
1 was.
Mm.
Oh, that and Luke Cage season 1. Like the the Netflix
Nobody liked
show-
Iron Fist, is what we're saying.
Yeah. But also once they got off season 1, they became a lot worse. Like Daredevil season 2, on the one hand, has the Punisher storyline, which is really good. On the other hand, it has Frank Miller's Infinite fucking Ninjas in it, so it's bad.
Oof.
Oh boy.
The Hand has never been good. Like, there's a reason why the Ninja Turtles took the piss out of it. In case you don't know, the Hand is the reason why we have the Foot Clan. Yeah. So,
Mm.
yeah. Anyway, in much closer premiere news, and something I'm greatly looking forward to, the second season of Fiona and Cake got leaked recently. Um, and that subsequently tumbled into official confirmation, and we are now right into the hype cycle because Warner Brothers has released the teaser images, the poster for season 2, and they have most recently released the official trailer. So, yeah, Fiona and Cake is coming here October 23rd, 2025. 2-episode premiere, and then it's going to run all the way until Christmas Day. And I could probably fill in a great amount of time just with the lore and speculation because it is an Adventure Time property. But the focal character of this season is a really interesting one if you are into the Adventure Time scene. And that is, it seems like it's going to focus around Huntress Wizard. Probably going to have to explain that to people who aren't quite up on their Adventure Time knowledge. Huntress
You
Wizard.
see, the characters in the Land of Ooh are weird.
Well, Huntress Wizard occupies a special place / a very hated place in the fandom.
Oh boy.
Because she's the one who, by all indicators, is gets the hookup with Finn. So that alone is a huge fucking firecracker. because shipping wars. Like,
I have no idea what, if any, pairings in Adventure Time are popular aside from Princess Bubblegum and Marceline and Jake and Jake's wife, Princess Rainicorn, because
well,
that's all I understand that Finn was old enough by the later seasons that there was some in actual series stuff about who he was interested in, but I was generally aware that it did not go well.
oh, goody, goody. I get to enlighten you on the finer points of this. Like, oh, no. The big divide is between those who would ship Huntress Wizard and those who would ship him with Fire Princess.
Didn't he have a thing with Flame Princess and it went really badly?
Yes, he did. And yes, it went as badly as it could go. The thing is, in universe, that's been resolved pretty magnanimously and healthily. That is to say, okay, the condensed version is Finn did bad things to Flame Princess, as in he discovered a fetish, and I'm not making this up. He discovered he really got off to the sight of Flame Princess battling the Ice King.
You do?
Like, I want to clarify that is 100% a thing that would happen. To the point where he was having literal wet dreams over it. Or I guess
boy.
very flamey dreams.
Oh dear
Like,
God.
he talked about feeling the heat from that dream.
Oh boy.
It's shockingly sexual.
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus.
Mhm.
I'm like, so
He was in
what-
his teens by that point. Wasn't he like start the series at like 11, but then every season he gets a year older?
This is about season 4, season 5.
So yeah, 14, 15.
Yeah, he yeah. So what he does is he gets the Flame Princess to fight the Ice King through manipulation,
Mhm.
up
Which is
to
trademark not cool.
up to the inciting incident that ended things once and for all. And that is taking all the learned insecurities that the Flame Princess confided to him in secret and putting them in a literal letter of battle.
Mm.
Once again, this was all for him to pop his rocks off to.
Woof.
Wolf.
And, I suppose thankfully the guilt started eating up at his conscience, and then he went and confessed the whole thing, and that's when things took a tumble between the two of them. To the point where it is now apparently multiversal canon that any iteration of Finn and Flame Princess will break up. That's actually relevant because that's the opening scenes in Fiona and Cake season 1. We say her and a DJ Flame break up.
Uh-huh.
But of course, shippers are shippers.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Like, there are still people who have a torch for Finn and Princess Bubblegum, even though that ship is about as dead as it can be.
Uh-huh. It's at the bottom of the ocean.
No,
And was never really particularly healthy, seeing as to how she's an ageless bubblegum thing who's known him since he was a child.
Right, but I will note that the majority of that shipping window was early stage, like season 1 to 3.
Back before there were many other characters to ship, and also before it was fully established how ageless of a bubblegum thing Princess was.
A bubblegum golem, or a bubble golem, if you will. But yeah, this is well before she was revealed to be like 800 or so years old. She was still framing her age as like 18.
Right.
And then there was the time when she got possessed by the Lich, thrown into a vat of magic, and turned into a 13-year-old.
These wacky shows.
Look, Adventure Time is a very weird show.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, and that's about as much shipping talk as I want to talk about at this point in time. So we should probably wrap it up for the week.
Yeah.
That's what she said. All right. Back in the land of seriousness, where the hell are we? I actually have the Google Doc open for a change. All right. Next week we've got Richard A. Johnson of Rat Trap Productions LLC. Adam, take it away.
I'm glad you asked. Rat Trap Productions is a game company whose products are designed to be, first and foremost, a lot of what we have been producing and stocking has been based around helping you build your epic adventures. Our Rat Mats and Rat Mat Scenic Packs are inexpensive ways to populate your game table with 3D scenics. But we began life as a miniature game in miniature games, and we enjoyed the heck out of them. Our first game was a miniature games. Not great English on some of this. 45 caliber adventure, thrilling action in the pulp era back in 2005. It was designed to invoke a genre of the golden age of pulp magazines. From masked heroes and courageous explorers to hooded villains and dangerous madmen. The pulp genre is filled with colorful characters battling it out in gritty cities and exotic locations. We expanded on these to include fantasy, science fiction, and swashbuckling. We have also added card games to our list of products. The first one out is Lost World Lunch. This is a quick 30-minute card game for up to 3 to 6 players where you play the dinosaurs, tired of becoming trophies for well-off Victorian adventurers, so you can turn the tables on them and seek to make them your trophies. So, yeah, quite a lot of stuff here.
Oh my God. All right.
Yeah. So
that sounds yeah.
Yeah. And
that sounds exciting. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and once again, Galix, Petty Fan, you'll probably be asked to chime in here. Just laying that on the table right now, since we've got a lot of board game, card game stuff here. All right. Anyway.
Indeed. Well, it sounds like we've got a great plan for the upcoming week, and hopefully I will be able to get back to Blue Mondays on Monday, which Addo's missed. And she's feeling better, and then hopefully Petty Fan's eye is healed enough so that way we can do some Final Fantasy XIV. If all goes well, I will be playing Overwatch 2. I will see if Atman is up to doing it. We were actually having a pretty good session, but I just deleted all the VODs for it because it was broken into pieces and glitchy, and I kept having graphics card failures throughout the game, which is strange because the first week of it was fine. So I don't know why that happened. When I was playing by myself, no problem. As soon as I played with another person, so maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But my plan is tomorrow I will be playing more quick play in Overwatch 2. And, so tune in for that. And hopefully we'll have a good time. But that's it for this week. Thanks again to our special guest, Calvin of Win with Dice, for being a good sport and humoring our format change. And I'm glad we got our little miscommunication about timing cleared up. Because that sucked.
Yeah.
But we'll see you all next time. So until then, I'm your host, Mac Paladin. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, kids.